All right, so how we doing, everybody? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? If you guys are watching this on YouTube, please make sure to hit like and subscribe so that Algo pushes this out to as many people. Everybody, welcome back. It's New York session. I did take a win, and then I just took a loss. I'm still in a little bit of profits, but just to be completely transparent, I did give back the money that I made earlier this morning on the original long positions that I took. The second long positions I took, I did not move to break even. And so the first one, I took partials, moved to break even, it hit. The second one right now just hit SL because I had a pretty tight stop loss on this trade. I'm waiting for a re-entry at 15,360. As soon as we get that, it'll be perfect time and perfect price to get in. And I think that we'll be good to go. Now, there is one thing I wanted to note to you guys is that typically when we're looking for bullish continuations, we want to see price get broken. When you don't have price get broken, you have this lower high situation. This is a recipe for a potential retracement or a potential move down. Look right here. Here's the body of the candles. No closure above. Okay. Now let's look over here as a difference. Here's the body of the candles. What do you notice? Break above, and then that led to the bullish move. Let's look over here. Previous structural high, here's the body. Break above, which led to the bullish move. Right here, no break above yet. So I'm still giving it a chance because we have all the signs of a bullish market. We're still forming higher lows. We're still forming higher highs. And so I just, I was kind of expecting like a 50% retest of that candle and a continuation to the upside. That's still what I'm expecting. All right, so I'm being patient with this move. I'm still bullish on this because everything is still pointing towards a bullish market. Okay, we're bullish trending. We have higher lows forming. And then as long as we hold a higher low again, then we could have a continuation to the upside. If we break below the 15,300 level, that's when we can reassess because the market's going to be heading lower, probably to like 15,000 flat. 15,000 flat would be the next best entry if we violate this area. Okay, I know I have a bunch of fibs here. Bear with me. There it is. All right, I'm going to layer in entries. So I'm going to do like I want to throw 20 lots on FTMO. So I'm going to do is I'll do 5 here, 10 here, and then when the market comes up to retest, I'll do another 5 right here. All right. Best thing to do would be just to wait for this lower entry. But you guys, some of my ACP folks, you guys just saw what I did. I measured this most recent move from top to bottom. We had a clear break above it, and then we came back to retest the 61, 78, 88. So right now we're at the 61. So this is a pretty good entry on that side. That's the reason I took the trade originally, that 405 level. If you guys are doing a challenge or you guys are in the middle of, building back your account or you're trying to play conservative, I would just wait for this entry down here at 360. If it doesn't come, if it doesn't show up, that's fine. Come back tomorrow and find a better trade. It's really that simple. So, matter of fact, I'm going to exercise some patience with you all. I'm going to wait for that 88.6 entry. And if we don't get it, then it is what it is. That's trading. Part of my trading strategy says show up every day. Don't trade every day. It can't get that simple. It can't get any easier than that. Right? Trade in the direction of the trend. Only trade from the highs and lows of the session. What else? You got some pretty good rules here. Don't chase. That's a big one. Better to miss a trade than to chase a trade. It's another one. Those are all pretty solid. Oh yeah, show up every day, don't trade every day. I already said that one. If you're watching on YouTube, please make sure to drop a like. It'd be very appreciated. Happy to have you guys on. I'm your host, Roy Dunya, aka the NASDAQ Sniper, aka founder of ChartAddicts. Great to see all of you guys this morning. Yup. I gotta get to work. Crush it. All right, Max, Bryce, great to see you, fellas. I'm getting a call from Zoom. Guys, should I pick this up or not? I'm going to pick this up. Let's see what's going on. Give me 1 second. Hello? This is him. That was too funny. We put in a request to do this like custom webinar thing for the NASDAQ bootcamp where, you can't get on the webinar unless you signed in and all this stuff. And it's been like a week and a half, I'm pretty sure, and they just got back to me. That's crazy. Noah says, smash that like button. Noah, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Is New York session. Let me go through some other pairs for you guys. Keep things interesting. Gold. Oh yeah, so we got this like really weird dislocated head and shoulders, but let's stick to structure because that's the only thing that we can really rely on. Looks like we have a low right here. And looks like we have a high right here. So what do you guys think I'm gonna do? That's right. Yep. Beautiful 88.6 rejection. And right now we're sitting right below the 7.86. Myself personally, I'd like to see a break back above the 7.8, a retest, and I would like to enter at the 78.6 on the 30-minute time frame and 1914.1 with my stop loss below this wick. All right, TP1 is going to be 1922 and TP2 is going to be 1934. How that trade would look in a visual sense would be just like this. Okay, 1.6 to 1R. Could it go higher? Yeah, probably. But do you want to make money or do you want to potentially hold a trade that could potentially maybe almost maybe keep going? My recommendation is you catch a great entry, you're making money, take the money and do that over and over and over again, especially with gold. It has a lot of volatility. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on gold. We have beautiful 88.6 entry, 1909. If we break above 1914 and retest, that's the next best entry. TP1 1922, TP2 1934. Leave a runner if you wish. The continuation strategy for the ACP folks, the continuation strategy works on every pair. So let's look at UJ. UJ, we measured that move from top to bottom. We had a clear break above. Retracement to the 78. Oh, not good enough. Through the 61. All right, remember, through the 61. Retest. That was the retest entry right here. Retest, retest. And then we haven't really had a second retest. What would I be personally looking for? Move back into the 78 and entry. Okay, so 146.75. Great re-entry for USD JPY. 146.75. 146.75. US 30 and NASDAQ, they kind of both look like they want to retrace lower. And so I was expecting the continuation back up to 470 or 500, but it kind of seems like the market wants to break lower first, right? Kind of break this low, come down to this level first, and then have a continuation to the upside. All right, so I really want to see how NASDAQ is playing out and US 30 is playing out. Guessing, not the best. How do we assess direction? The first thing you got to do is, first off, it's kind of like, what is it, Newton's motion? If the market's in motion, assume it's going to stay in motion. If the market's moving in a specific direction, assume it's going to continue moving in that direction unless the market proves you wrong. So that's why whenever people are looking at specific candlesticks and they're like, Roy, that's bearish, that's obviously bearish, it's obviously this. I'm not using one candle to make a decision. I always start from the assumption that a trend in motion will remain in motion unless levels get broken. You guys can take that one to the bank. Make sure you put a quote next to my name. A trend in motion will remain in motion unless the structure gets broken. How cool is that? That's called a rule of thumb. That's something you can use every day, all the time, no matter what market, no matter what you're trading. So close to entry. This is where patience needs to be exercised. Now, if you guys are watching this and you're interested in learning how I trade NASDAQ 100, make sure to join us October 1st to the 3rd for the NASDAQ Bootcamp. It's a 3-day live class experience. It's interactive, so you all get to ask questions. We're going to be covering fundamentals on the first day. What are the key drivers of NASDAQ and how to trade it? Remember, the second day is going to be technical analysis. So I'm going to show you guys the difference between swing trading NASDAQ and day trading NASDAQ. Now, if you guys don't know, I've been trading NASDAQ for around 3 years now and consistently around 2 years. I exclusively day trade NAS and I swing trade currencies, Euro USD and USD JPY. So the swing trading technique that I use for NASDAQ, slightly different than the day trading technique that I use. I want to show you guys that on October 1st to the 3rd. Please make sure to secure your seat before they're gone so that you guys can have an advantage. I'll also give you guys this indicator and the specific levels that I use to split up my sessions. These are the hot zones and the dry zones of every session. Why is that important? Because you guys can notice the yellow, i.e. New York session, has the biggest volume. The pre-sessions, Tokyo, Frankfurt, Sydney, no volume, but they are very indicative of where the market's going to go. You guys can see like very simple things that I'm going to show you is you have the highs and lows of a New York session, and at some point the market's going to violate below, but the bodies are going to close above, and that indicates a pushback to the top of the range. Again, here, okay, no closure above the zone, bodies close below. That's another indication that the markets will move down. There are so many things where the highs and lows of the session overlaps connect and give you a high probability trade opportunity. And that's what I'm looking forward to showing all of you. So right now we have had all the pre-session consolidations and looking for that next move. Right. So here's the rule. As long as the market closes above the body of those candles right here, 15,360. As long as we close above that, that means we can wick through, but the bodies have to close above. That's going to indicate a continuation of that trend. All right. So buys is the direction I'm looking for. Things are looking solid so far, but it all depends on if the market respects, rejects, and retests that zone. If you guys are catching value out of this so far on the stream on YouTube, please make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. This is Chart Addicts. We're an educational service that specializes in performance coaching for traders. If you or somebody that you know is struggling with their trading or just looking to take their trading to the next level, make sure to head over to ChartAddictsFX.com for more information. You guys see I'm fucking wired today. I went to the gym. I'm on my fucking 3rd cup of coffee. I don't know about you guys. Personally, I love the side effects of coffee. That's just me personally, right? If I'm drinking coffee, I don't feel the jitters. I don't feel that little bit of like, how do I describe that? A little bit of like heart palpitation. If I don't feel that a little bit, I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like I did enough. So that's where I'm at right now. Borderline tweaking. Best workout of my entire life this morning. If you guys haven't gotten active today, make sure that you do. All right. A lot of people are so focused on the technical analysis, they don't realize that the psychology and the mindset and your body and your physicality and your physiology, all of that determines your performance, right? I just gave you guys a trade idea. Some of you guys are locked in today. You will make money whether this trade idea is valid or not. Some of you guys, you have the best trade idea or whatever it might be, and you actually are selling this right now. But you're going to find a way to lose the money because your mindset just isn't in the right place. So mindset, very important. Physicality, again, very important. And this is, I'm going to borrow a phrase from Tony Robbins. He said, your physiology determines your psychology. So if you're feeling slow, you're feeling tired, you're feeling foggy, ask yourself, how active have you been today? Ask yourself, how much of an advantage did you give yourself today? And if the answer is 0, and you're expecting to step into the most competitive marketplace in the entire world and compete with hedge funds and compete with Goldman Sachs and compete with some of the brightest minds in finance, yeah, you're going to be in for a treat. That's the checklist. All right. I just started layering in my trades. So I'm going to do, this is on FTMO, guys. So don't sit here and be like, oh my God, he's throwing 20 lots. I ain't throwing no goddamn 20 lots on NASDAQ on a margin account. All right, let's relax. You're betting damn near like $20,000 a pip or something. That's not me. All right. This is FTMO. I'm using a 1-to-30 leverage account because it's a swing trading account. And so the lot sizes look slightly larger. Get over it. Welcome to YouTube. All right. The YouTube comments always go crazy, y'all. They're like, oh, that's demo. It's like, fuck. Why? First off, why is FTMO doing this? Right? Where they're just making my life a lot harder. Whatever. Guys, I'm layering in trades. All right. I'm doing 5. I'm doing 10. And if we get that break back above and retest, I'm doing another 5. I'm doing 20 lots total, which is the equivalent of a 0.2 on a margin account. Actually, that might be a 2.0. No, that's a 0.2. Okay. So the way I would split this up if you guys were using a margin account is 0.05, 0.1, and then 0.05 again. Split up the position. Okay. And always put your bigger positions at the bottom, your smaller positions at the top. We'll talk about why that works on the NASDAQ bootcamp. Scaling strategies advanced. It's 20 a pip, right? Actually, you're 100% right, Josh. Usually volume is lower during these hours. You're still taking the trade. So, fuck, I don't want to give you guys too much info because I really want to save it for the NAS bootcamp. Bobby, remember the conversation we had yesterday? I don't know if Bobby's still on here. Might be. He said, I was just about to say, yeah, bro. I don't want to tell him because I really want to save it, but it's like on the tip of my tongue. I just want to let him know. But okay, Bobby, let's just do this. Let's just show him the magic instead. I mean, obviously we can't show him because it's going to take too long, but I'm going to give you guys an estimate of what's about to happen. Fuck, there's no way for me to say this without giving it away. Damn. All right, show up to the NASDAQ bootcamp, October 1st to the 3rd. ChartAddicts members, I'm going to give you guys the trade idea after the stream. Everybody else, these are the levels, right? If you're smart enough and you're resourceful enough to have written these down and to have marked them on your charts, congratulations. If not, yeah, you played yourself. Beautiful. All right, smaller time frame. Let me show you guys real quick. Okay, fib, top, bottom. Yep. Some of you guys are so confused because you were taught how to draw fibs wrong, and it's okay. All right, gold, 1911 to 1910. If we hold that support, there's your entry right there. 1910 buy entry. Stops below the low, and thank me later. We'll watch this here in a second. Personally, I do not trade gold. So take this with a grain of salt. I have zero skin in the game on this trade. Okay, so why is that important? If someone gives you a trade idea and they're not actually going to put their money on the line, then do not trust that trade idea. Skin in the game is one of the most important things. When I call a NASDAQ trade, all right, I'm taking this trade. If y'all lose money, I'm losing money. If I make a decision on here, it's not from the perspective of like, oh yeah, bro, just hold it. Oh, bro, just hold trades. Everything doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Now, the perspective is we're all in the same trade. I have more skin in the game than probably most of you, obviously, depending on account size. And so if you lose, I'm losing too. And that makes everybody more accountable to making great decisions. Feel me? So skin in the game, very important. What's the DXY doing? All right, still in motion. Bitcoin kind of flat. UJ is just pushing. NASDAQ is almost at entry. So in case you guys don't know how I trade the market open, typically I'll take a trade at the the pre-specified zone, and I'll go a bit heavier down here. So if I entered 5 up here, I'll enter 10, maybe 15 down here. When the market rejects, I can close both trades. I can close the original 5 lots in profit, let's say like $30 profit, something light. And then these ones, because they're heavy, it's a significant amount of money. So I'll make $500, $700, $800 just on each one of these positions, close one, put my stops and break even. And if it runs, that's a good 1% trade. If not, and retraces, it'll be like a 0.25%, which isn't the end of the world. All right, you guys want to talk about global news? Do you guys want to talk about politics? Let me know. I don't want to bring up politics and all this stuff if y'all are not down, but obviously you guys know I keep my eye on the ball with everything that goes on. And so if you guys are interested in talking about something specifically, let me know. Any hot topics or trending news or something you guys want broken down, let me know. All right, and if you guys don't know me, what I do is I try to skip the noise, always try to avoid the noise, and I try to go directly to the sources. So I've read basically every central bank statement that's come out for the United States. I've read a few policy statements recently for the euro and for the pound. I've been keeping up with the Treasury and their efforts with the Fed Now program that they just launched and some of the other programs they have going on. So the presidential campaign and the race. What else? We can talk about anything. But China, BRICS. You guys let me know. But Roy, why is your camera off today? What's going on? Well, I just got back from the gym and I'm chilling. Probably gonna roll a joint. YouTube is gonna get us flagged if I do that. And so I have my camera off. Isn't that crazy? Said, Roy, you were a wealth manager and a licensed broker dealer and one of the best NASDAQ traders in the world, and you guys host the most popular Forex conference in the world. How are you smoking a J? How is that possible? I read in my 6th grade health class that weed is bad for you. I'm just too funny, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Any idea on the MFF? Oh, yeah. Yeah, brother, MFF is not bouncing back. The only way that these firms bounce back is by rebranding and renaming. Now, the thing is that just like Traders Domain and just like a lot of these other firms, they underestimate how long of a memory people have. They're like, oh, I'm just going to scam a bunch of people and then I'll give it a couple of years and then come back and rebrand. My guy, everybody fucking knows. Like, there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. And so MFF is specifically malicious because the other ones, they kind of have excuses. Right? Like even Traders Domain, they're like, oh, well, the Canadian authorities this, and there was a bunch of stuff that we didn't see coming, whatever. The MFF, oh, read through that shit. Slip them to hell is what the owner of the firm said. Okay, slip them to hell. When they were talking about, okay, we have too many traders winning on the platform, we got to find a way to make them win less. Like that is absolute madness, people. So yeah, MFF is not bouncing back. And good riddance to that bullshit fucking company. Good riddance to that bullshit company. Good riddance to... Wait, I just realized that my microphone was way too far. Yeah, that company is not coming back. If they do rebrand, just keep you guys' eye on the ball. Don't let anybody come back in this space after having defrauded a bunch of people. Because people do this shit all the time. Astro tried to do it. Right? They tried to rebrand their name and come back and do shit from scratch. No. Right? Get the fuck out of here. Once a fraud, always a fraud. If someone scams one time, they will scam again. All right? I'm going to tell you guys a secret. No, it's not even a secret. This has been true for years. I would literally rather sit here and lose this trade. Well, you know, and whatever might happen, and lose a live trade in front of all of you and risk my personal reputation calling a trade idea that doesn't play out, than lie, scam, cheat, or defraud people to pretend like I'm a trader or to pretend like I'm something I'm not. I'll literally rather sit here, lose this trade, and have you guys call me a fraud that way. Like, oh, Roy can't trade NAS. I would much rather do that than what a lot of these guys are doing. And so, yeah, the MFF situation is the tip of the iceberg. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. I'm not even sure if this is public information because I read this from a source that was pretty close to the situation, that FTMO is suing the funded trader. So you look at the top three names were MFF, the funded trader, and then at the very top of the list is FTMO. So MFF is now gone. It's just the funded trader and FTMO. And so FTMO turns around and sues TFT for copyright infringement on their affiliate program. Okay, is that going to hold? Fuck no. Are they going to make the funded traders spend a lot of money on litigation where they should be building and they should be working on security and all these other things? Yes. So yeah, guys, when prop firms get desperate, or when any Forex company gets desperate and they start doing malicious things like fucking up the traders' accounts so that they can just make more money, so they can kick more people off the platform, so they can, you know, make it harder for traders on their platform, that's when shit goes sour, very quick. So it's like an animal that with his back against the wall. They're going to start to do very malicious things, and you guys just don't want to be around that fight. So prop firm wise, I'm only using FTMO right now. I did get another free challenge from a friend of mine, James, over at Fortunes Funding. So I'm going to give that a try. I am not endorsing the platform yet because I have not gotten a payout. Just letting you guys know what I'm using. FTMO, I stand by 100% because I've gotten paid there so many times consistently that there's no doubt in my mind that they are the most reputable company out of all of them. All right, that's my take on the MFF situation. You're still doing mindset calls at ChartAddicts? No, but this morning I was actually about to send out a link and start doing them again. You guys, if you're on YouTube, please make sure to hit the like button so we can keep doing these streams. Andrew says I got 5 on it. Yep. Do you always take a trade when it hits zone or wait till smaller time frame confirmations? I want to see a confirmation, Josh. It has to respect, reject, retest the zone. What do you think about the dollar? Will it crash? No chance. Do you look at divergence with other indices? No, I'll look at volume divergence or relative strength index divergence, but I don't really look at divergence between the indices, because the only thing that tells me is that, like, if NASDAQ is going up and US 30 isn't, it means that technology is overperforming the rest of the index, which is good to know, but it doesn't really help me make more money unless I saw the earnings reports for the tech stocks before. Like, if there was an earnings report for Apple that comes out after the session ends and it's very positive, then tomorrow we can expect that NASDAQ is going to go up. Does that mean that US 30 is going to go up? Not really, right? So this is how you guys can use the individual names in an index to gauge the direction. Again, stuff we'll cover in the NASDAQ bootcamp. Who are the top 5 names in the NASDAQ? Okay, how much weighting do they have? And, you know, what determines whether or not NASDAQ is going to go up based on the pricing of those stocks? There's so much to indices that people don't understand. By the way, I have not entered the second position yet. I want to wait for it to grab through the zone first and potentially get an entry below the 886. Just a wick. I want to see it go under the zone. I'm going to buy it right here. I want to see it wick up. I want to take partial profits or close the whole fucking trade, bag it, and walk away with a win.
What's wrong with you people?
Okay. So I already have my original or my first position up here. And then I want to enter my second one down here. If the market pushes up, I will close the first position, okay, and break even, and then either close the whole second position or close half of it, leave a runner, whatever. Personally, I always leave a runner, but I'm going to close about 80% of that trade. It's too much sauce for a live stream. Bobby, you already know the deal. What about Secure the Bag by Swaggy? I'll let you guys make your own judgments. Brother, if you lose your money on a company called Secure the Bag, that's your fucking fault. All right, you deserve to lose money. And I hope it hurts, and I hope it stings, and I hope that you remember that for the rest of your life so you never do some stupid shit like that again. I'm just throwing that out there. And that's nothing to say about the guy personally. Just look at the fucking name, right? Like, all right, so I'm entering my second position right now. So somebody did mention this earlier, yet the 11 a.m. till about noon or till about 1 p.m., very, very dry for New York session. Now, dry does not mean no opportunity, right? I'm going to just leave it at that. It will consolidate for the next 2-3 hours, which is fine. But then after it consolidates, usually what happens? There's a move, right? All right, so my second position is in. My first position is in. I have a position right here, a position right here. Can we talk about accuracy? All right, now it's just a patience game. Here's the body of the candles right here. The market closed just under the body of the candles. It's typically a bearish sign. So even if we do have a push up, I think that the next move is going to go down first before we continue, or it's going to go down. All right, so this is going to be a scalp trade. We will probably get about, let's call it 35 points. But as soon as we close above the 78, I'm going to move my stops to break even and protect that trade. Now, why do I catch like scalp positions as opposed to the daily trend? Well, typically because I like to be in and out of these trades and then hold something in case the market does give me a daily move. I want to be in and out. I want to trade my window. Right now, I'm trading within my window. Said I love this honesty. Yeah, I mean, guys, when you come to these streams, you're not going to get political correct. All right, I'm going to give my team a fucking, a headache all the time. But I'm going to speak my mind and I'm going to speak honesty. That's it. If it offends somebody, I don't give a fuck, right? But if it helps somebody, that's my number one aim, right? I want to help you guys by giving you God's honest truth. And I might say it in a way that might hurt somebody's feelings. I don't know, right? Just make sure to hit a like if you guys take these trades and if you're making money. And then if you guys want to continue to get on these live streams, just join the public Discord. We'll be sending these live stream links out every once in a while. If you have not checked out my weekly outlook that I put up yesterday, go and check out the video from yesterday. I did an entire weekly outlook. Okay. So my original position is almost in break even. All right, so that original entry I entered, the 5 lots, is at 366. So here's why I split up the entries, and here's why I always put the bigger position at the bottom. Look, the 5 lots I entered is in drawdown about 10 points, right? That's like what, $50, right? Something. The 20 lot trade is at 330. The trade has not even moved. Now, if I close both of these trades out, they'll cancel each other, right? So like I'll lose $50, but I still get to make 330, whatever it is. Now, I want to give this trade a chance to play out, but just to give you guys an example of like, you put the better position at the bottom, even if the market does not give you what you want, you can still hedge yourself out of these trades. You can hedge yourself out of a losing trade using very smart scaling strategies. All right. Not looking too hot, but this is where patience comes in. I just wanted to come up and hit the 61. As soon as we hit that 61, that's where I'm going to cancel out those trades, put my stops and break even on the original, or not on the original, on that lower entry, and then let this thing ride for the rest of the session while I go about my work. Hey guys, how's everyone doing in the market today? Doing great. Thank you, Jasmine, for asking. Great job, man. Keep up the great work. Time to eat trading. Thank you for the support. Ooh, gold never made it to that 1911 entry. So close. So close, but close is not close enough. What is that? 6 points? 6 points. They say close enough only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades. Yeah, it looks like NASDAQ might be flipping here, guys. Not flipping because we had a very aggressive market open. Right at the market open. All right. So we'll be hopping off the stream here in a little bit, in about 20 minutes-ish. I'm expecting the market to consolidate at this entry for the next few hours, and then at some point later in the session to then make that move up. So my stop loss is set below the previous lows. I'm going to let this thing play out, and we'll come back and check in a few hours. Got to be patient with these pairs. This is why risk management is key, so that you can really let these things play out, because they might not always look the way that you want them to, and the market might not always behave the way that you want it to. Let's say gold is the best example. We may have wanted some kind of wick entry through, but what we got was this bearish close, and then the next candle is going to be a fill of that range. So it might not always look the way that you want it to look, but as long as it's respecting the zones, that's the most important thing. NASDAQ seems like it's going to break through. We had a good rejection, should have hedged. I guess technically we did hit the 61. So maybe this is my fault for not being quick on the closure there. But I'll be patient. So I have been swing trading NASDAQ. I'm still holding an entry from down here at 247. And I have another entry from 166. Damn. Uh, 302. 302 is my stops for NASDAQ. All right, yeah. Damn. All right, yeah. Price is most likely going to continue to break down. I'm going to leave my trade open in case it comes back up. I'm not going to close it before it rejects the zone, but bears clearly have control. And just based on how aggressive this candle is, it's engulfing the previous 1, 2, 3, 4 right now. The previous 16 hours, the market is filling now. So yeah, bears are in control. Very unlikely that we get the rejection now, but damn. All right, so let's do some takeaways. Biggest takeaway is that trade was correct. There was an 88.6 trade. I showed you guys that there was a potential to make profits there. I think I've realized that a theme here. When I trade by myself, I tend to follow my rules and just close the trade, whatever. When I'm on the streams, I'm a lot more patient for some reason. I want to see it play out. I don't want to close too early. So yeah, the strategy is there. Being able to hedge yourself out of that trade was there. Was that the trend of the day? Probably not, but there's only one way to find out, which is to let the market play out for the next 2-3 hours. Says, got to bounce. Have a great day. Right back at you, James. You guys have the levels here. The levels are here. I would set an alert at these lows at 15,300, and then I would set an alert probably above the 61. So you'll get to be alerted if the market's back in profit or if the market is going through your stop loss. So you don't have to constantly check. I got in gold at 1909 and re-entered at 1912. Good stuff. So somebody had a poster. I forgot what, I think it was Q at his house. He said, you can't make the bread if you can't hold the red. That one stood out to me. All right, so my timer is going to be set to 2 p.m. So as soon as I get off, what I do is I set my price alerts, and I set a timer, like not a stopwatch, a fucking alarm for 2 o'clock, and I come back and check that hour closure. If you're in the trade, you can check back every hour to see if the trade's still valid. If not, then you can just check back periodically at every at those hotspot intervals, 2:30 to 3:30, that range. and then again at 4 o'clock right before close. All right, everybody, it's officially 11:15, so the markets are typically going to go dry here in the next probably hour and a half, for the next hour and a half to 2 hours. So let's go talk about some global events, and then we'll call it a day. Biggest events in Forex are going to be the Fed meeting on the 21st or the 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check this. Might even be the week after. Okay, so we have the policy statement from GBP and the yen. Okay, Wednesday, September 20th. That's the day. Expecting no change in the Fed funds rate. This is going to be what everything is setting up for the Fed meeting on the 20th. So until then, we're looking at all of these data points to figure out how Jerome Powell is going to react during that Fed meeting. So let's look at the news for the rest of the week. We have core CPI and CPI dropping tomorrow. Thursday, we have PPI and retail sales. Weekly unemployment claims, this comes out every week. There's no surprises there. And then we have preliminary consumer sentiment. Sentiment is dropped in a few different parts every month. Preliminary is like an early estimate. And those are the biggest pieces of data that we have. So CPI is going to be the biggest mover, of course. That's the topic of discussion. It looks like the annual CPI, it was at 3.2. We're expecting it to climb back up to 3.6, which is not really good for the economy. That's probably why the markets are responding negatively. They're going to sell off until the Fed meeting. And then once Jerome Powell indicates that, hey, inflation's still climbing, we got to act, then the market will do the opposite of what everyone thinks. Everyone's like, oh, Jerome Powell is going to tighten. He's going to say higher for longer. That's bearish. And then the markets will go up. So the way I'm reading the markets right now is that there's an early sell-off happening, sort of get a lot of selling interest in the market based on what they think the news is going to be. And then once the Fed meeting comes around, the market's going to do the opposite. So whatever the trend is between now and the Fed meeting, most likely will have the opposite trend the week of the Fed meeting and forward. Okay. I might go over some people's heads. We'll do a fundamental stream one time and kind of go through some of that news, but that's about it. In terms of the BRICS currency, first, the yen is going to continue falling. And the dollar is going to continue climbing. So UJ to me is the easiest bet of the year to continue going long, because as long as the yen is dropping, you got bullish momentum on UJ. So this is probably one of the easiest trades of the year. Is UJ longs. Stops might be a little bit too tight here. All right. Any topics you guys want to talk about? Or are we good to go? That off topic, who you got, Logan or Dylan in a boxing match? Logan easily. But the fight's not going to happen. Just like Elon and Zuckerberg, neither of those fights are going to happen. Dylan Dennis is going to find a way to, to call off the fight. The guy's extremely talented at staying relevant for literally never, ever fighting. And I think that's his MO. And I think he's going to use this whole, oh, they're trying to sue me and shit. They're trying to sue me and that's why I can't fight excuse. He would get fucking destroyed, guys. Let's be real. That he's a master troll. I mean, yeah, bro. I don't even think, yeah, he's trolling hard, bro. He's trolling hard. Like, it's crazy. The fact that it even showed up on my timeline, like, I don't pay attention to celebrity boxing. But the fact that it showed up on my timeline, I'm like, yeah, he's doing something right. And Logan's definitely doing something wrong. I'm just like, I'm gonna just leave it there. All right. Let that be a lesson to all you successful young men or future successful young men out there. You want to go down the trolling route, if you guys want to go down the doing it for clicks and doing it for all that shit, it's only ever going to end badly. You can see it in Forex too. You want to be Forex celebrity boxers and all this shit. I tried to host a celebrity boxing tournament last year. All right. Everybody pussied out. Everyone who talks shit online, by the way. Like all the guys that are always on social media talking shit about this person and that person and starting drama and all this stuff. That's the last person that'll ever step in a ring. All right. Everybody else, like, it's cool. All right, so we're finally getting this retracement on the DXY. So anything that has a Euro, USD at the end of it, GU, EU, those are all likely going to start to retrace now. Okay, Bitcoin included. US 30 starting to move back up. Okay. Okay. The only thing that's not moving is NASDAQ. So again, you guys, somebody asked about divergence earlier between the indices. You have US 30 pumping. And you have NASDAQ continuing to drop or liquidity grabbing. I vote liquidity grab, which is why I'm still in the trade. Noah says goofies. That's funny as hell. All right, y'all. It's 11:25. I'm usually off the charts at this point. So set your timers. 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock is that window that you guys want to be watching NASDAQ. Just observe. You don't have to take a trade. Set your alarm. Come back and observe. See what happened. Here's the low of the previous day's session. Here's the low of London. All right. Look back and come back at 2 to 4 p.m. and just see what happened. Maybe we liquidity grabbed and shot all the way back up. Maybe we just broke through all the zones. That's going to be a learning lesson every single time. So I have my before and after screenshots of my trades. Come back and review once the session is closed. And that's how we make improvements every day. All right. And plus I have the benefit of the recording. I'm going to go back and be like, man, again, I should have closed 88.6 when it first pushed up. I should have taken that trade. But these are the lessons. We have the benefit of hindsight is 2020 in trading. Okay, ladies and gents, last reminders. If you guys are interested in the NASDAQ 100 Bootcamp, October 1st to the 3rd. If you're looking for personal coaching or you know somebody that would benefit from personal coaching, reach out to us and apply for the advanced coaching program. It's application only. We only take on around 10 students in a month. And so if you guys are looking to take your trading to the next level with a one-on-one experience, ChartAddictsFX.com. If you guys are on YouTube, hit like and subscribe on your way out. Take it easy. Happy and safe trading for the rest of the week. Peace. All right.